I want to show you guys that this is a reality for every single person on this earth. Nobody gets to avoid this. There's no exceptions. And because there's no exceptions, when do you start preparing for this? I mean, consciously. Because some people, they behave like they're going to live forever and they're not going to die. You know, how many guys here go to school and take a test? Anybody ever been and had a test? Besides me? Of course. Okay, so when you reach the grave, there's also a test. What's the test? They're going to be asked questions. What are the questions? Man hu robuk, ma hu dinuk, man nebiyuk. Who is your Lord? What is your religious way of life? We're not talking about religion, religious way of life. And who is your prophet? Is it? Or what do you say about this man? You see? Those are three questions that are going to be a test that's going to come to every single human being. Now, we can look around here. We can know that some of these people, they didn't get it right. And we're going to know for certain that we reached to this place, we want to get it right. Because when Al-Barzakh comes down, the barrier that separates this world from the next world, the hereafter, the Akhirah, when that comes down, it's over. Nobody's going back. Not one of us can go back. And guaranteed, everybody from out there is going to come here. And everybody in here is not going back over there. So this is the true dwelling. You might live in an apartment building for 2 months, 3 months, 5 years, 10 years, maybe 20 years, 30 years. One place. But when you get here, it's forever. It's for good. Until you reach the day of judgment. One of the main reasons we see these guys going to all these extremes and going through these changes is that, you know, they have an issue with their identity and their self-esteem. You understand that? Yeah, they're not proud to be Muslim. They don't even look at themselves as being worthy human beings. So therefore, if I don't feel myself of any value as a human being, then how can I do anything with you? You know what I mean? If I don't care about myself, why would I care about you? So I could sell you drugs. Why not? I can come now to go ahead and rob you. I can steal. I can go ahead and, you know what I'm saying? So there's no limit to what they can do if it is that they're going to be in that situation of not having a certain consciousness about themselves. The horror that you find in this place, the violence, the rapes, the physical abuse, the emotional abuse that people are going through is unbelievable. You can't imagine the difficulty the brothers are going through. Okay? Now, that's in general. If you're a Muslim, intensify that 100 times. Intensify your situation because of the people hating you, and not only hating you, but hating our religion. Not only hating our religion, but many times hating your color. Not only hating your color, hating the fact that you don't got no knowledge, you ain't got no information. You got nothing to trade. And then on top of that, hating you because maybe you're not going to be part of their gang. The whole place is run by gangs. And you got to be part of the gang. If you're not part of the gang, you're not part of the deal. If you're not part of the deal, you have no ability to protect yourself. May the 10th, 1983. I embrace Islam in here. Huh? Somebody came, and one of the guys from the street who is a friend of mine is a guy from Jamaica. He gave me a Quran, told me that this book is a book of God. This is the guidance from the Creator, and there's no mistake in it. Anyone who follows it is going to be successful, and if you can find any mistake, everybody in the world will follow you. I was like, all right, let's go. Let's do this. Okay? Of course, I couldn't find any mistake, but I also found that it educated me. And it put me in a situation where I started to really understand myself and what's going on in my world better. And from that, I was able to make real distinctions and be able to put myself in a better situation, financially and otherwise. Yeah, Shabab. Okay, we're standing in front of the Seton House Men's Homeless Shelter, where, again, as part of the Social Awareness Tour, we bring people to make them aware of the condition of what happens when you continue to do crime, or you do drugs, or you become violent, or you become unruly and disrespectful of your family and the people around you. Many times the young people, they end up in this place. And many people are thinking that, oh no, well, I'll only come here temporarily, but it really doesn't work out like that. It's not temporarily. You think it's temporarily, and guess what? After that, it comes down to be much more. Sometimes it comes down to be a whole lifetime. Some of these people, you'll see them here, they've been here for maybe 30 years or more. They're actually long-term residents of this place, and they have not been able to leave. They came here at a very young age, and guess what? Still not been able to figure their way out of this place, and the place itself has trapped them, and the lifestyle itself has trapped them. And ultimately, they're in a situation where their life is, they're throwing away their power on a continuous basis. Ultimately, this is a place that we try to avoid. This place here has been situated for holding 650. They've actually increased it because of the conditions of the weather, the snow and the cold and everything, to 700. We came the other day and there was one guy who was 701 and they were turning him away. And his situation was horrible because he said, I have no place to go and I can't live nowhere and it's cold outside and you guys can't do this. And he's fighting and screaming and so on like that. And it just so happened to be from from our Muslim community member. And it was really terrible. It's a big wake-up call for the young brother we brought over here with us to see that. You know, we've seen people, they put so much pressure on themselves. Why they do that, how they do that. They come now to the point where they continue to just fight against everyone. They're fighting in the school, they're fighting against their family, they're fighting in the masjid, they're fighting everyone. They're fighting themselves, they're fighting the good person who they are, and they get no good. To the point comes now where they break down. Literally they break down, they can't take it anymore. And they need medical help. And they go to the doctor, and the doctor sends them to the psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist sends them over here. Well, they give you some drugs in here that change who you are. You know who you are right now, right? You know who you are. But what if somebody give you one pill, one time, and that pill was enough to change who you are, and you never know who you are again. And you spend the rest of your life trying to figure out who you are and trying to remember who you are. And that's all you're going to do for the rest of your life. That's it. There's nothing else. Would that be okay with you? You lose your identity. Any good? Finish. Any idea of concept of who you are? And then guess what? You spend the rest of your life in a system. What's the system? Jail. What's the system? Homeless shelter. What's the system? Mental institutions. One to the other, to the other, to the other. Can you imagine that? That's your whole life. So what is that? What is causing that? Again, starts here. Starts here. Starts here. Starts here. How you feel about yourself right now is most important. And what you do with that feeling in terms of empowering yourself to take back your power, and don't throw your power away to the streets. Don't throw it to the drugs. Don't throw it to the girls. Don't throw it to anything except that you put yourself in a condition to give it back to Allah. You're making mistakes. You're making misjudgments. You're going now to want to be like somebody else. You want to have an identity of somebody else. You want to look like these non-Muslims, the rappers, and you want to be like this. And the girls want to look like, everybody wants to look like Beyonce. You know, and you want to be these glamorous people and so on like that. And Islam is telling you, just be humble. Humble yourself before Allah. But instead, we humiliate ourselves before the world trying to be somebody else. And we're throwing away our identity. We're throwing away our dignity. Our self-esteem is being destroyed. It's a big, big problem, huge. Now we have a situation where we can avoid all of that by what? By disciplining ourselves according to what needs to be done here in the masjid. This is our place. This is our sanctuary. Ultimately, this is a place where we have to take time to reflect and put the right things in place. So that's why we come to the masjid, and we advise you here in this place. You know, I have two choices. If I have only two choices about talking to you here in this place, in the masjid, or coming out to wait till you go into one of those other places, to the jail, to the homeless shelter, to the mental institution, or we got to make janazah for you. Which do you think is a better deal? I talk to you now, or we talk to you in one of those situations? And we hope that this particular process that we've gone through and what we're speaking to you about today will help with that process and give you more balance, more opportunity to be successful. And we hope that you'll always continue to make dua for us and for all those people who are coming after us who also are going to need the help. And that's why we make this effort today as a contribution towards that. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept it from us and to accept it from you, and that we continue to remain firm in our deen, and that we strive always to follow the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as he's been the greatest guide for us and the best person for us to take and emulate. All the other people, they have their conditions, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent us the perfect one, and we should look at that situation the best way we can. So Jazakallah khairan for your patience and for your time with us, inshallah. Allah make it easy.